The Bell Witch, America's first documented haunting. The year is 1817. In the quiet farming community of Red River, Tennessee, now Adams, a darkness begins to stir. The Bell family, respected and devout, finds their peaceful farmstead invaded by an unseen force. It starts with faint knocks on the walls, whispers in the dead of night, like the house itself is breathing. But as weeks turn to months, the disturbances morph into something sinister: physical assaults, guttural voices, and a malevolent presence that refuses to leave. This is the Bell Witch, a name that would echo through history. This isn't just a ghost story, it's a documented nightmare witnessed by an entire community, including a future U.S. president. For 4 years, the Bell Witch tormented a family, leaving behind a mystery that still haunts us today. Was this a vengeful spirit, a psychological phenomenon, or something far darker? Join us on Legends Unveiled as we unravel the chilling tale of America's first documented haunting, the Bell Witch. Scene 2, the Bell family, a community's pillars. John Bell Sr., a successful farmer, and his wife Lucy were the heart of the Red River settlement. Their sprawling farm along the river was a testament to years of hard work, a place of warmth and faith. The Bells were known for their generosity, always ready to lend a hand to a struggling neighbor. Their children, Jesse, John Jr., Drury, Betsy, Richard, and Joel, were raised with strong values, their laughter filling the homestead. Betsy, the youngest daughter, was the family's light, her beauty and charm a source of pride. But that light would soon draw the attention of something dark, something that would shatter their peaceful life. For years, the Bells thrived, their farm a beacon of hope in a rugged frontier. But in 1817, their world would turn upside down. Scene 3, the onset of the haunting, from whispers to terror. It began with a strange encounter. One evening in 1817, John Bell spotted a bizarre creature in his cornfield, a dog with the head of a rabbit. He fired his rifle, but the beast vanished without a trace. Days later, the family started hearing faint knocks on the walls of their home, like a child tapping in the night. Lucy dismissed it as the house settling, but the children weren't so sure. The knocks grew louder, more insistent, joined by eerie sounds, chains dragging across the floors, rats gnawing at bedposts. Then, the entity turned its attention to Betsy. One night, she woke screaming as invisible hands pulled her hair, leaving red welts on her arms. Blankets were yanked from beds, chairs slid across rooms, and doors slammed shut with no one near them. The Bell home was under siege, and fear replaced the warmth that once filled its walls. Scene 4, the entity speaks, a voice from the shadows. As the haunting escalated, a voice emerged from the shadows. At first it whispered hymns and scriptures, its tone almost soothing. But soon it spoke directly to the family, revealing a cunning intelligence. "I am Kate," it declared, claiming to be the spirit of Kate Batts, a neighbor who believed John Bell had wronged her in a land dispute. But Kate Batts was alive and well. Did the entity use her name to sow discord? Kate was a paradox, one moment singing lullabies to the children, giving them fruit, the next cursing John Bell with venomous rage. She displayed eerie powers, reciting sermons delivered miles away and describing events in distant towns with chilling accuracy. Her knowledge of the Bible awed the family, but her cruelty terrified them. Who or what was this entity, and why had it chosen the Bells? Scene 5. The community reacts, from skepticism to fear. Word of the Bell family's torment spread like wildfire through Red River and beyond. Neighbors, curious onlookers, and even skeptics flocked to the farm, eager to witness the phenomena. James Johnston, a respected friend, spent a night in the house to investigate. He was jolted awake as his bed covers were yanked away, the sound of scratching and knocking filling the room. The next morning he declared, "An evil spirit is at work here." Even General Andrew Jackson, the future U.S. president, was drawn to the mystery. In 1819, he arrived with a contingent of men, determined to face the entity. But as they approached, their wagon inexplicably stopped, refusing to budge. "By the eternal, boys, this is the witch," Jackson exclaimed. That night, the entity attacked one of his men, pinning him to the ground with an invisible force. Jackson, shaken, ordered a retreat, later saying he'd rather face the British Army again than the Bell Witch. Scene 6. The torment of John Bell, a fatal affliction. The entity's wrath zeroed in on John Bell Sr., tormenting him with relentless cruelty. He suffered strange symptoms, facial twitching, difficulty swallowing, that grew worse with each passing day. The spirit cursed him, vowing to end his life. On December 20th, 1820, John was found unconscious, a mysterious vial of dark liquid by his bedside. The entity gleefully proclaimed, "I poisoned old Jack." A drop of the liquid was tested on a cat, which died instantly, or so the legend goes. John Bell never woke up, his death marking a grim victory for the Bell Witch. But was this truly poison, or the entity's cruelest taunt? The mystery of his death would only deepen the terror that gripped the family. Scene 7. The aftermath, the witch's final words. John Bell's funeral was a somber affair, attended by neighbors and friends who had witnessed the entity's wrath. But even in death, John found no peace. As mourners stood by his grave, a chilling voice rang out, mocking, laughing, taunting. "I told you I would kill old Jack," the Bell Witch declared, her voice echoing through the cemetery. "And I did!" The mourners were horrified, the entity's presence a brazen intrusion into their grief. After the funeral, the Bell Witch's activity began to fade, but not before making a chilling promise. "I'll return in 7 years." And true to her word, she did. Scene 8. The return and theories. In 1828, the Bell Witch returned, this time targeting John Bell Jr. But her demeanor had shifted. She engaged in long philosophical discussions, debating life, spirituality, and the future. John Jr. later claimed she predicted the Civil War, decades before it happened, along with the rise and fall of world powers. Then she vanished again, promising to return in 107 years, in 1935. Some Bell descendants reported faint knocks and whispers that year, but no definitive proof emerged. Scene 9. What was the Bell Witch? So, what was the Bell Witch? Let's explore the possibilities. Theory 1. She was a vengeful spirit, possibly tied to a Native American burial mound. As she claimed, her powers, like reciting distant sermons and predicting events, convincing witnesses like Andrew Jackson of her supernatural nature, though her true motive remains unclear. Theory 2 suggests a hoax by Betsy Bell. Some skeptics argue the 12-year-old faked the phenomena to gain attention or escape her circumstances, pointing to her as the focus of the attacks. But how could a child deceive an entire community, including seasoned investigators, for years? Theory 3 is darker. The Bell Witch was a cover-up for abuse, with John Bell possibly harming Betsy, the witch, a way to deflect suspicion in a time when such topics were taboo, yet the lack of direct evidence and the scale of the phenomena challenge this idea. Theory 4 looks to psychology, the entity as a manifestation of the family's stress, financial struggles, and isolation on the frontier, causing psychokinesis, especially in Betsy. But this struggles to explain the entity's intelligence and the experiences of outsiders like Andrew Jackson. Finally, Theory 5 proposes a tulpa, a thought form created by the family's collective fear and belief, their superstitions giving Kate life, growing stronger with their terror. Yet how could a thought form predict the Civil War, and why did she linger after their fear faded? Scene 10. Cultural Echoes, a legend that endures. The Bell Witch didn't just haunt the bells, she left a lasting mark on American culture. Her story inspired books like The Bell Witch, An American Haunting, and films, including The Blair Witch Project, which drew from her lore. In Adams, Tennessee, the Bell Witch Cave draws thousands of visitors each year, many reporting unexplained chills and whispers. In 2025, paranormal investigators using EMF detectors and thermal cameras report strange activity at the cave, spikes in energy, shadowy figures on film. Local festivals celebrate the legend, but some residents whisper that the Bell Witch never truly left. Her legacy raises a question: does solving this mystery honor the past or keep the terror alive? Scene 10 conclusion: does the Bell Witch still haunt us? The Bell Witch remains one of the most documented paranormal cases in history, witnessed by a community, chronicled in newspapers, and investigated by a future president. Was she a vengeful spirit, a product of hysteria, or a cover-up for something darker? Over 200 years later, the mystery endures. If the Bell Witch is still out there, waiting in the shadows of Adams, Tennessee, what might awaken her next? Perhaps the next knock you hear isn't just the wind. What do you think? Was the Bell Witch real, or is there a rational explanation behind this terrifying tale? Share your theories in the comments. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another chilling story right here on Legends Unveiled.